Hello and welcome to Good For You, the show where we celebrate those good for you moments in your life and make sure that you can have that glow up, grow up, and feel good about who you are and your life. Live that wonderful life, right? I'm Lucia Drummond. I am an author, motivational speaker, and life coach, and I'm here to go on this journey with you. Now, I've gathered some amazing guests, as I've done for the past few weeks as well, and we're going to dive into a topic today that is so sticky, excuse the pun, and scary, and I'm probably going to be blushing the whole way through. We are talking about getting your sexy back, feeling good. The girls came to play, and I hope that you come to play as well. We want to feel sexy. We want to feel good. So many of us spend our whole lives with one person, and that is an important relationship. No man is an island. We have to have that connection, and sexual connection is so important in that perfect, vital, beautiful relationship that we have with our spouse. So today we are diving in. Put the kids away, put your seatbelt on. It's going to be a goodie. So today we are talking about getting your sexy back. Now, we've spoken about confidence on the show before, but we're taking it a step further and having that sexy confidence to be able to have that wonderful relationship with yourself and with your partner. Now, my guest today is none other than the fantastic Dr. Nicki Spies. Now, she is a coach, a counselor, and she's also a gender discourse analyst. So she's written books about this, she's done TED Talks about this, and she's going to talk to us today to really get us in the groove. Welcome, Dr. Nicki.
Thank you very much, Lucia. Lovely to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here because I have got questions. And I think many of us have so many questions and we don't always put it out there because we don't know who we're speaking to. We don't want to tell other people our bedroom business, right? And so today I'm going to throw it out there. Now, I've actually received questions online from people when it comes to confidence. And it went into this whole sexual confidence whole arena, and I was like, okay, I am out of my depth. I don't even know what I'm talking about here. So I had to get the experts in. One of the questions was that when I got pregnant, I started to feel that my husband was not connecting with me as much. And I thought, okay, maybe it's because the baby's in there. Then the baby was out, and it was 6 months later. And I just feel that there's no desire, there's no connection. And the times that we did connect, I initiated it. This was actually a message I got on my Instagram. So I just wanted to know from your side, is this something that's common?
Yes, it is. I think often women are portrayed as this beautiful, sexy young people, and the moment they go into motherhood, that becomes their complete identity. And often when your partner also sees you in that way, that you're only mother now, it can be very difficult in a relationship.
Yes.
So it's very important to have the conversation with your partner, but also to ask yourself, do I still see myself as sexy? What are the things that I would like to do differently? Or how would I like to adjust? Because having a great sexual life means that we have to have great sexual conversations.
Yes.
And we have to have those from we meet till the day that we die. Yes, we are sexual beings till we put our heads down.
Oh, that thought makes my knees wobble, but I'm excited. I still have many years on this earth. Okay, so going off that, and already I see the tone of communication, which by some of us, it's difficult.
Yes.
I mean, to sit here and have a conversation, that's nice, but to have that intimate talk and egos and all those things in play can be difficult. What are some of the tips to move from that space of, I don't feel sexy as a mom, as just giving birth to a baby. I don't know what the connection is in my marriage, in my relationship right now. How can someone move forward from that point?
I think where I would like to start, and just a disclaimer here, brace yourself. I think it's very important to understand ourselves as sexual beings in a very specific way. We are on a continuum, and sometimes we are feel highly sexed, and other times not. But the one thing that stays the same is the following. The clitoris, most sensitive sex organ in the female. The penis glands, most for males. Biggest sex organ, our skin.
Sure.
Most important one, our brain. how we think about ourselves, how we think about sex, how we think about our partner will determine the connection, how much we are able to enjoy it, how easy we can speak about it or not. And we often don't even have the conversation with ourselves. If I have to say to you now, suddenly, Lucia, what's your definition of sex? I think you will have to think a little bit before being able to answer that.
Absolutely.
So we don't even have the conversation with ourselves. And I think that's very a starting point. Asking your partner or your spouse, listen, what's your definition of sex? And what is sexy to you? And what is erotica? And I would love to share some of my thoughts around that with you. And instead of jumping into this is a problem, you're not doing this right, I don't like that, should do this, you should not. So first starting much broader to understand how we see it and understand it.
Oh my goodness. I am already, as you're speaking, I'm already sitting here blushing and I'm thinking about my relationship and I'm thinking about how nervous I get when I just say, do you like this top? The girls are out. And then I'm a little bit nervous. We still have so much to dive into today. I'm so excited about this topic. Stay tuned. We're going to make sure that this summer that marriage is hot. We've got more guests coming up. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after the break. Hello and welcome back to Good For You. If you've just tuned in, it's a hot episode. We are talking about getting your sexy back, feeling yourself, feeling your partner, and all that comes with that. We've already kicked it off with Dr. Nicki, and we're taking it one step further. We've got TK. Now, you know her face. You may even know her voice so much better. She's just got that sexy voice, and I have encountered this woman over 10 years ago, and she is the same sexy person she was then, TV personality. TK Van Louw, welcome to the show.
Wow, what an intro. Thank you so much for having me.
It's so nice to have you here, and as I said, you are just one of those women that are sexy, and you've just been sexy. And if you look at some South African women, for me, it was like the Jeannie D and the you just have that sexiness. How would you say through the different chapters, from student life to motherhood, to boss babe, to body changes, all these different phases, how do you continue to come back to that place where you are your sexy self?
I think that if I reflect on the different phases in my life, I think the one thing that I've always attempted or I try to do is just be honest with myself. Because I think when you're in your realest, truest self, that just naturally flows. And it was difficult post-baby, I'm not going to lie. But, from the phase of, ooh, I'm getting a little bit of boobs now, and the phase of, ooh, like my body's curving, and my 20s when I just take more risks, and having a baby, like in all of that, I try to celebrate every little transition that was happening, and do it as mindfully and as graciously, but also kindly to myself as well. And then post-baby, like, ooh, it honestly took about 3 years. It was hard. The stretch marks, the color of your body, your nipples, your vagina, your everything, all of that creates all kinds of like complexes. But then I think the tipping point was just falling in love with that. Going like, that is me. I'm a baby making machine.
I love that.
I'm amazing. Like, I've got a portal that brings souls into the world, That kind of appreciation and love for yourself reinvigorates and reminds you about how damn sexy you actually are and how powerful you are. And that helps me. That helps me decide to wear a tight skirt. Because I remember, I remind myself, like I do it, I think that was one of the things that helped me just do my version of sexy.
Yes.
Everyone's version is different. Yeah.
And you do it so well. I think you inspire so many of us because you're just yourself and you're authentic. And I love that.
Thank you.
If I have to throw it out to both of you, what and how would you define sexiness?
For me, sexiness, if I think of a sexy woman, it's not necessarily being curvy, having big boobs, flat boobs, big bum, no bum, whatever. It's about exactly what TK just spoke about. Being comfortable in your own skin and liking yourself.
Yes.
If you walk into a room and you really like who you are so much more open to also engage with other people. And people love to be engaged. And the moment you are able to do that with self-confidence and not being so self-absorbed, how do I look, how do I sit, what do I do?
Yes.
It's just me and here I am and I've got so much to offer. that's super sexy.
I love that, because sometimes you meet someone that's so beautiful, but they just give off this closed off vibe.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah.
you know, you a pretty pop, but
Yeah.
beyond that,
Yeah.
what is there? What
Yeah.
would you define sexiness as?
I definitely, run with what you have just said. It's definitely the sense of self-acceptance.
Yes.
It's a sense of knowing and also striving for your divine purpose, like knowing exactly what your version of you is.
Yes.
Because so often, especially in the age of technology, we compare. We
Yeah.
constantly compare. And as you said, the puppy ticks all the boxes,
Yes.
looks perfect, but you can just feel the energy. She's not living a purpose.
Absolutely.
And that comparison is the thief of joy, because you're not living your realist real. So coming back to the point, you can't fake it, you can't hide it when you are being so authentically accepting of who you are.
Yes.
It just comes through. No matter what you're wearing, what body shape you are, you just ooze it, you command it when you come into a space.
Fantastic. Oh my goodness, this is so good. And I know that we are giving you those keys to unlock your own sexiness. And sometimes we define it in a specific way, but we are breaking the boundaries and we are making it authentic and our own. Okay, so just 2 tips from each of you. How can you up your sexiness level with your partner, your connection, and even with yourself?
I think start with really get to know your body and to know that your body will change. And what you probably enjoyed when you were in your teens will differ maybe when you've had your first child, second child, or with myself, I've been with the same man for 36 years. So hopefully things change. I don't want it to be the same all the time. So really to get to know yourself sexually,
Yes.
to explore yourself sexually, to know what you like and to be able to say what you like, when you like it and how you like it. I think that is key for me. And then if you have kids, being very practical here for a moment, have a radio in the room. Why? Every night when you go to bed, leave the radio on for a while, because some nights you not just want a bit of a sound barrier, especially if you have older children.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Okay, fantastic. Digi, on your side, just a quick tip for someone to take home.
Again, I'm going to agree with what you're saying, and in this sense of understanding your body, touch yourself, feel your boobs,
absolutely.
understand how your vagina works, understand why your boobs have sagged a bit, and find alternatives. Get an expensive bra, do things
Yes.
that pushes up the confidence. And I love this thing called superficial confidence. Superficial confidence for me is this thing of, when you look good on the outside, you feel good on the inside.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you must be plastic and artificial. What I'm saying is, feel unapologetic about fixing things up about yourself. You want to get a little bit of Botox, you want to get a lipstick on,
boo-boo?
you want to contour, you want to get a bra that does things and you're faking it till you make it. Do it, because you feel good in it.
Yes.
And you celebrate that about yourself. There's nothing wrong in it. And it all comes in with the self-discovery, the understanding. There's nothing wrong with celebrating who you are.
Fantastic.
And your body is yours.
Yes.
No one else's. It's yours to do with whatever you want.
So enjoy your body. We've already got some great tips here. After the break, we're actually going to be answering some questions from the public. So your question might be answered, or this might be the answer you need for your situation. Stay tuned. We are talking getting your sexy back, and we're having so much fun doing it right here on Cape Town TV. Hello and welcome to Good For You. We are still diving into getting your sexy back, getting your groove back, and feeling good in your relationship. I've got 2 phenomenal guests here today, and we've really been talking about this, really sifting through it from a feeling perspective, from a body perspective. There's so much more to dive into, but you know what? Right now, we're going to dive into some questions from the public and really answer those questions that you've been asking. So I've got 3 questions. I'm going to give each of you a turn. TK, which one would you want? 1 to 3.
Let's go 3.
Okay, number 3 from Lauren says, I've been feeling so undesired by my partner since being pregnant. It's 6 months later. How can I start to feel sexy again?
I think firstly, be merciful on yourself. Your hormones are still all over the place. You are still trying to understand what the heck has just happened.
Yes.
So there's that side of it, And I think also with that mercy comes the fact that you can't rush into normality again.
Yes.
So retrain yourself, your new version of sexy, you're not going to be the same sexy that you were when you made the baby. You have a new form of sexy that's coming on now. So, find different ways to be sexy. Retrain your brain, as you said, about what your new understanding of sexy is. And I think doing stuff like I do this with my husband. We still cheeky with each other. I still pinch his bum when I walk past him. I still do like little things that no one will see, but it's our little thing. Try and keep it. Sexy is not always only sex. Sexy is a lot of cute things. Sexy can be a fun text. It can be something just exciting. The sex part is just that one side of a myriad of fun things that you can do together. So you keep your fire burning how you know best, and don't have expectation of what it must be, or what Hollywood says, or what social media says. Just you do your version of you, and be comfortable with that version. And don't forget how amazing you actually are. You made a baby, girl. You're pretty powerful. Yeah.
I love that. Because I must say, I'm a person that likes to romanticize things. Like it must be this love story. And things must, in my mind, it must look sexy to me. I don't know what it looks like to other people, but in my mind, this must be a sexy scene. If it's not, I'm just like, what is this? Is this gymnastics? Dr. Nicki, what is your advice for Lauren?
I think, Lauren, it's very important to embrace different kinds of sexiness. And sometimes we need the quickie, 5 minutes, because there's no energy. I need an orgasm. You need an orgasm. Let's get to it. Let's go through
Dr.
it.
Nicki.
And other times we need the cuddling, the loving, the romanticizing. But just accept that sex, there's no formula. There's no recipe. What works today for the two of you is what's great. And it doesn't have to work tomorrow, and it might not have worked yesterday, but this is that will work today. So just become more adaptable and to flow. And please, after you had a baby and your hormones is up and down, please use a lube, use everything that you can to make sex comfortable and get enough rest. I know that's difficult. Instead of trying to have sex late at night, worst possible time, wake up an hour early, spend some nice time together, and go to work with a smile on your face.
Ooh, I like that, Dr. Nicki. Okay, one last question, Dr. Nicki, one or two?
Let's go for two.
All right, this one says, anonymous, when my husband isn't quite up to the task, I feel like he's not attracted to me, and he seems to be feeling embarrassed about it. How do we practically deal with this?
I think there's two things that's very important to understand in any sexual relationship. No two people's libido, in other words, our need for sex at a specific time or sexual engagement is the same. So it is a negotiation process. And when I'm feeling very sexy, it doesn't mean my partner necessarily feels the same. And that does not equate to he or she does not find me sexy anymore. It's about we are different human beings. So that's the first thing that's very important to know, and to take a rain check and to make an appointment and have the time together. But secondly, masturbation, very loaded term. So I use in my book the term sexual self-care. Sexual self-care is very important in any healthy, happy sexual relationship. And you should be able to take care of yourself without feeling any guilt, so that next time when your partner is up and the energy is right, you're there ready, not frustrated, and you can just be in that moment.
Sure. Dr. Nicki, you're saying things today. Nicki, what do you want to add there for that person?
I like the way that you have articulated it. I think it ties in with something that I do at least, say, once every 8 weeks with my husband. We just book an Airbnb.
I love that.
Like tonight, we're just going to be porn stars, whatever. The idea is that we both decided, we both mutually agree that tonight we're not going to be panicky or worrying about work or deadlines or anything. And it's a small little pleasure that we're giving ourselves once every 2 months, once every 6 weeks. But we're mutually on the same page in that space and that time. There's no expectation from each of us, but we know what's going down. And I think it's a little reward for us, and it's a reminder also about us and our love and how much we smack each other.
I like that.
It's important.
I like that. Oh, that's fantastic. I hope that you got some great tips here today. And I think just thinking about everything that was said, I'm going to give you a little bit of a takeaway in just a moment. Thank you so much to these two phenomenal guests. Thank you for coming through, Dr. Nicki. Thank you, TK. You guys have added so much to the show today. I know that your questions were answered, that you were inspired. inspired because I was, and I'm sitting here. How can people connect with you, Dr. Nicki? Where can they reach you? You could just tell them straight into camera.
Yeah, sure. They can on social media under Nicki Spies or Spies Consulting, and email is usually easiest. Dr. for Dr. Nicki Nicki at spiesconsulting.co.za.
Fantastic. And Tika, how can people connect with you?
Well, I'm probably most busy on Instagram.
Yay.
I am no specialist like the great doc over here, but I attempt and I try to inspire and share my lifestyle with people. So please follow me on Instagram. It's at TK's Kingdom. And yeah, get ready for lots of fun.
So there you have it. Now I'm going to share my top takeaways in Cape Town style. I give you a barakat if you come to the party. So do enjoy. Some things that I took away from today's show was communication. Now, already for me, I talk a lot, but when it comes to the sticky and spicy stuff, then I'm so shy. But I'm going to practice this, Dr. Nicki, and I'm going to do this, and I hope that you do it as well. So I'm going to challenge you with that one. Number 2. Schedule the love. Make plans for love. Take the night away, take the weekend away, and really put that time in place so that you can build your relationship. Be honest with yourself, connect with yourself at whatever degree you are comfortable with, but know yourself before you expect someone else to know you. Those are my takeaways. Use them, and I hope that they make a big difference in your sexiness and in your relationship. I've got giveaways as well, not just takeaways. And this time I've got 2. You can get my book, 21 Days in Full Bloom, or you can get Dr. Nicki's book, Sex. Nou, wat is die eintlike story? This on my social media. You can comment on this post on my Instagram, and you could be the winner of one of these books. It has been fantastic to be with you today. We spoke about the big stuff. We'll be back next time. Thanks for joining.